A nightmare for a Hoosier family has lasted for years, and it is not over yet. Good evening. A consumer alert now. A Ripley County man is reminding and warning Hoosiers about the dangers posed by CCA treated lumber.
CCA is a chemical wood preservative containing chromium, copper, and arsenic. It's an issue ITMate has been covering for nearly a decade. Tonight, 24-hour News 8's Jay Hermasinski reports on a family who says using the lumber has ruined their lives.
In September 2000, Artie McGuire and his family began building their dream home in Ripley County, a dream home that has become a recurring nightmare.
The thing is, none of this information was given out to us when any of us bought this wood that I'm aware of. They need to know it. The hazards and dangers of this stuff needs to be known.
During construction, McGuire says he purchased what was called salt-treated lumber to build the wraparound porch. He says in 2003, he learned salt-treated lumber was a common name for CCA-treated lumber.
We called the retailer, the manufacturer, and the chemical company, and they assured us there was no problem, no hazards.
The building continued, but as time passed, squirrels and cats on the property began dying. Artie suffered migraines and rashes. His wife's hair began falling out, and his daughter began dealing with an outbreak of warts on her legs. McGuire says he became so ill he needed 24-hour care. His son, a teenager at the time, suffered a heart attack. Medical tests found high levels of arsenic in their bloodstreams. Health officials came to the home to conduct tests. They found high levels of arsenic inside and outside the home. This doctor's letter, dated June 7, 2007, recommended the McGuires vacate their dream home.
We did move out of the home. We are now living into the basement.
Last week, EPA crews brought in bulldozers to remove arsenic-contaminated soil from areas where the family had burned scraps of the CCA-treated wood.
They detected, found the hot spots. They were cleaned up, fresh soil, put it back in, strawed, and seeded back down.
The family's nightmare isn't over. They filed suit against the lumberyard, lumber manufacturer, and chemical company responsible for CCA. The pending litigation is slowly moving through the court system.
I want my home back. I want our home back. I want to be able to live like a family. This was our dream home we built as a family with our own hands. I want it back.
In Ripley County, Jay Hermasinski, 24-hour News 8.
Now, ITMate first started investigating the issue of arsenic in wood nearly 10 years ago. Karen Hensel's here with more on what her investigation uncovered. Karen.
Yeah, Debbie, you probably remember this was unbelievable. The problems associated with CCA-treated wood, they're not new, but many people still do not understand the danger of working with, sanding, or even touching that wood. Our ITMate investigation back in 2001, playing with poison, tested and found high levels of arsenic in wood at Central Indiana playgrounds, picnic tables, and on your backyard deck. This is also when the EPA was doing a risk assessment on CCA, or pressure-treated wood. Our investigation prompted the late Congresswoman Julia Carson to file a bill requiring a warning on pressure-treated wood. Months later, the EPA struck a deal with the wood industry to phase out the popular lumber by the end of 2003. This was a voluntary phase-out, so the wood is still being sold. The warnings came too late for the McGuire family that you did meet earlier. Now, we can still find many objects in homes and parks made of this type of wood. Again, do not sand or burn this wood, and children should wash their hands often. Also, a deck splinter quickly gets infected, and the poison can enter your bloodstream.